Hey, good day, family. This is Bob TV, Freedom on Fire, Hardcore Politics Division. Want to welcome you to this week's audio podcast and video podcast. And I'm not going to be long. I'm going to actually be quick on this one. I just want to say that I am officially proud of the Congressional Black Caucus. Now, I've been kind of critical of the Congressional Black Caucus. I used to say no plans, but no activation. And I've been accused of being that type of person. I am a planner. I can come up with great ideas and things like that, but I need people to help me implement them. I got great ideas to do things, but when it comes to making them happen, the physical manifestation is kind of tough with me. But I still believe that that's why you have a planner. That's why you have a developer. A planner and a developer is two different things. So lately in my book, I believe the CBC are just planners. They have great ideas, but never go forth in developing the ideas. A lot of times they do get roadblocks, but they should be a little bit more bold and more aggressive and go back to the old Martin Luther King style of voting blocks. And that's why I said, and that's why I'm encouraging people that, yes, even though we do want to provide an opposition to the Democratic Party insiders, not the party itself, but the Democratic Party insiders, the corporate Democrats, while we do want to pose a opposition to the Republican Party, the only way to do this is when progressives unite together, take off their party hats, and become a voting bloc. It was the voting bloc that made the true changes to America, not the voting in the parties. Yes, the voting bloc gave the parties the voting power to make the changes, but without the voting bloc, they wouldn't have never gotten office. The only way you're going to be able to control anything in government in this day and age is people going to have to come together, take off their party hats, throw away their party affiliations, and become one. Become one in power, one in mind, one in sound, one in sight, one in vision, and become one whole army. A coalition of the willing, as George W. Bush would say. Now, why I'm talking about the Black Caucus is because they did not decide to do like most people who don't have a brain, or they have a brain, but they have too much black pride to go eyeball to eyeball with the president. Like I said, I have no problem with you meeting with the president. Now, if you're going to jigaboo and, kiss his behind because he's Trump and, that's a different story. And then I'm real critical on those who point the finger and call people who do meet the president coons and sellouts and Uncle Toms when they really don't know what happened in that meeting. You don't know. You think the interview describes what kind of conversation that Trump and that person had. I wasn't in the room, so I'm not going to make no comments. They could have been grilling him. They could have been cussing his behind out. But you won't know that. And you will never know that. And even a smart person won't go on TV and say, yeah, I cussed that blankety blank out, man. When I sat with him, man, who the blank you think he is? I cussed his behind out. How you going to think you're going to come back and dialogue with that man again to bring your issues before him? And to not be at the table is send yourself to be on the table. Let me repeat that. To not be at the table with Donald Trump is setting yourself to be on the table. You need to be in his doggone face. That's how negotiations take place. The worst negotiations, and Donald Trump is supposed to be the professional on that, the man, the art of the deal. He will tell you that the best negotiations are eyeball to eyeball. One of the things that presidents do, they negotiate on golf courses. They negotiate on the basketball court. Obama used to do. In the bowling alley. They find some way, pizza night or something like that. They're there. Now, the National Black Caucus, the CBC, Congressional Black Caucus, brought a document telling the needs of black America. Later before President Trump. They even agreed to do a quarterly meeting. Now, for people who are already mocking this, well, we'll see what happened. You'll never know that he ain't gonna do nothing. That's what they said about Lyndon B. Johnson. You really don't think Lyndon B. Johnson was not a racist? You really believe that? You really believe John F. Kennedy was all pure as you want to claim that he is? A lot of people did things just to get votes, man. And if it wasn't for the voting bloc putting them in office, they would have never got in office. And if it wasn't a deal that was struck that, hey, if we put you in office, this is going to happen, then we wouldn't have never got anywhere. That is politics, man. It's posturing, it's negotiation. But to act like a plain fool and just be totally against is wrong. That's what happened with the Republicans. And that's why this country did not move forward in the fashion that it needed to move, is because the Republicans refused to give Obama an inch. They met with him, but they didn't do anything. They refused to give him an inch. At least the Republicans were pushing, meeting with him, but not going to do anything. So it was good that they met with the president, and I appreciate them doing that. It's good that they hand the president Black America's plan. You can't be the president and come up with a plan for Black America, Donald Trump. You can't. And the people that you got on your staff, they can't come up with that because they don't know all of Black America. But you got people from all across the country, a caucus, from all over the country, from all different kind of neighborhoods. They know the Black community. And you have to listen to them when it comes to serving the Black community. You can't do it, Doc. You can't do it. It's like a white teacher trying to teach me the true Black history. Nah, baby. I mean, you probably can. But until you are, it's like me trying to teach Chinese history, true Chinese history, and and I'm from China and I'm from Detroit. No, the person need to be teaching that is a Chinese guy, especially if I can get an elder Chinese person to teach that, I will get more of the proper, correct history than me. I know I got the beard growing on, and I know I got those Chinese eyes, and people used to call me Blackanese in school and all that kind of, or Black China. But no. So Donald Trump, again, I give people good credit where credit is due. I'm not one-sided. I'm a middle guy. I'm a progressive. And when I mean progressive, I mean I'm a FDR type guy. It's not about, I have my faith. I stand by my faith more than anything. I would never go against my faith. But I realize that we're in a democracy, not a theocracy. So the will of the people is king here. The will of the people is king here, politicians, not the will of the politicians. So I'm going to be critical on both ends. I'm going to be praising both ends, whether you like me or not. Trump do something good, I'm going to praise him. He do something bad, I'm on him like a cowboy on a horse. I'm going to ride him hard. Same thing I did with Obama, same thing I did with Bush. I'm just like that. I believe in being the true fair and balanced. Donald Trump decided to meet with the CBC. CBC agreed. Or CBC decided to meet with Donald Trump. Donald Trump agreed. Whoever. I don't care what happened first. It happened today. The first step. Donald Trump, the CBC members said Donald Trump listened intently. And he told what he wants to do for Black America. They listened to him intently. And they told him what they need to see for Black America. I'm telling you, Donald Trump, and you don't watch my show. You got to listen to the people who know. You're a wealthy guy from Queens, but not Jamaica Queens. I mean, you probably are, you probably Jamaica Queen, but I bet you're not from the gutter of Queens. You're not from Long Island City over there at the projects, Queens Plaza. You're not from those areas. You're not from the Bronx, South Bronx, Morris Park. You're not from those areas. Southern Boulevard. You're not from the Hunts Point. You're not from those areas. You're not from the east side of Chicago. You're not from Liberty City, Overtown in Miami. You're not from there. You're not from Compton, man. You're not from Decatur. You're not from Houston, Texas. Fifth Ward. You're not from there. So I can go on and on of the different places where our community are suffering, but there's some places that are thriving. Black communities that are thriving. I can name you places in each one of those cities I named where there's great, awesome neighborhoods. And it was because of the programs that our tax money fund. That's where our tax money needs to be spent. You promise that you're going to be doing nation building here and not building up forces overseas. You got to keep your promise. So now, how did I get off this and let me get back on track? I'm proud of the CBC meeting with Donald Trump, giving them their vision for the black community, which I believe is a vision that the black community communicated with them. They gave them, and that's how it should be. Your constituents discuss the vision for their hood or for their neighborhood or for their city. You take that and you mirror and put that in your vision. Make that your vision. And you bring that before the United States. That's the real formula to improving America. Hear from your constituents, the will of the people. Take the will of the people before the president, and that's what we move forward on. So I appreciate the Black Caucus for meeting with the president. I appreciate them making a commitment to do a quarterly meeting. And like I said, for you haters out there who, we shouldn't talk to them, man. How you going to talk to somebody? If you're not at the table, you're on the table. You got to be there. You got to be the opposition voice. How is he going to know the opposition voice with just you marching? Them people are marching and not making any demands. That is a failed, unprofitable march. There's nothing after the march that need to be done. We need to march smart if you're going to march smart. But when Dr. King was doing all that marching, they were having a congressional meeting, congressional type meeting. Wasn't many Black caucus members at that time. They had a CBC, but not that much. They met with the president. Johnson was not for black people, but he realized black people carried a big power of voting. And that's why, again, I tell all the progressives they need to unite, take off their freaking party hats, and become the biggest voting bloc in history. And you show them that you wield the sword, not the president, not the Congress, and not any politician. You do. So again, I'm proud of CBC taking Plan for Black America to the president. The president could say, screw y'all. I can't stand black people anyway. I don't want to have that. That would have been a bad thing to do. But he heard. He listened. He considered. That's what they said. So you go argue with them. Your Democrats, your Republicans, your independent black leaders said that. Now, will they trust them 100%? You should not trust any politician. I don't care who it is. The worst, the one that say they're going to do all these things for you and smile in your face and hug you, sometimes they're just as bad as the ones who say ain't going to do a doggone thing for you. At least you know what to do with them. You can apply some pressure on them. But these sneaky ones trying to act like they for you and they stabbing you in the back at the same time. Come on, Doc. Come on. American people are smarter than that. Do want to thank you, Congressional Black Caucus. I do want to thank Donald Trump for taking the time out. Now, I'm going to get some haters. You think of Donald Trump? Yeah, I'm thanking Donald Trump for taking the time out to hear them. Whether it went through the other side of his ear, I don't give a crap. He sat there with them and listened. According to their testimony, he listened intently. They listened to him intently. And the only way you're going to move forward and advance as a country is you got to stop this stop Trump at all costs crap, because it's the same thing as stopping Obama at all. Let me calm down. This is a stalemate that would never move us as a country. I say this. If Trump do something that's going to crap on people, you stop him at all costs. But if he's going to initiate something, even though you may not trust him, even though you don't believe he's going to do it, you do whatever you can to hold his feet to the fire like you told us to try to do with Hillary Clinton and force him to do it. Now, you may not have to force him to do it. It may be something he originally wanted to do. I mean, even the devil will feed his kids. The devil's in the details. You never know. And you never know what can happen to the person the night before. Change can happen to anybody. And if Donald Trump is a racist bigot, homophobe, xenophobe, and he could be very well all that. And I know somebody said, he is. I don't know a person's heart. Because I've seen some people who act like they wasn't racist and racist to the bone. And then there's some people who I just knew were racist, were not racist. They just didn't know how to deal with people, and they just seemed like buttholes. So I don't know the heart of people, and I know people can change instantly. Because you're looking at a former drug dealer, hustler, didn't care about nobody white. Didn't even care about some of my black people. I was a thug hustler. All I cared about money. And then my son came into my life, and I got had a religious experience, and it changed me. Now, if you want to debate that or whatnot on religious experience and my child, you're wasting your breath. They say, well, man with an experience is never at the feet of a person with an argument. You can talk all your trash you want. I know what I've experienced. And people can experience change in one shot, one moment, at an instant of a time, and have a Saul moment when you were used to running Christians down and killing them, and all of a sudden now you're the biggest champion for Christians or for people. You used to be a person that hated black people, but now you can be the biggest champion. I believe all things possible. Now I know I'm going to get some haters here, but like I said, I'm the true fair and balanced brother. I don't take no sides, and I don't think your sins are the best of you. I think God can do something great with you. And if you don't believe in God, you can do something great with you. You don't have to stay the way you are. Change isn't change until you change. And if you make a decision to change for the betterment of the people, the real people, the majority of the people, then you're on the right track. So thank you, CBC. Keep up that work. Keep moving on that. Thank you, President Trump, for listening, considering. Now, don't get me wrong. I got my little doubts on whether you're going to do something or not, but I'm going to try to remove it because I heard one doubt and you're out. But it's not up to me to believe that you're going to do it. It's up to you to hold fast to your words. You've proven to be a liar. It's time for you to start being a truth bearer. I'm Bob TV, Freedom on Fire. Hardcore politics division. I didn't come so hard. But hats off to CBC Meeting with Donald Trump. And again, always remember this for you people out there in the audience who say, I wouldn't meet for him, nothing in the world. That's that people that thank God you're not in our government, because we will never move forward as a country with this. I wouldn't meet him for nothing in the world. I wouldn't do nothing for him for nothing in the world. I won't vote on anything. I'm going to hold his Supreme Court back. That's the same crap they did to Obama. And for you to have that same mentality make you no better than those Republicans that did that idiotic, dumb strategy that stalled this country for 8 years. And if you're going to do the same thing to this man, it's going to stall it for another 4 to 8 years. If you're not at the table, you automatically are on the table to get consumed. So thank you. I don't know what you're saying, but when you go to that table, you tell what's in your heart. You don't cow down, you don't bow down and get starstruck. You tell him or them like it is. Don't take nothing back. Don't hold nothing back. Make sure when you leave out of that room, you know you didn't sell out your soul to the devil. I'm Bob TV. Freedom on Fire, baby. Peace.